Hello guys, today we're back looking at our Mercedes Actros. This was just a cheap RC truck that I seen. I think it was on AliExpress. I think it cost about 40 or 45 euro including tip and trailer, so pretty cheap. But as you've seen in the last video, it's not very good in terms of control. You have no speed control, it's just on full power, and it's pretty quick as well, which makes it even more difficult to control. And the steering is just full left or full right. There was other little problems with the reverse kind of stuck, so you try to do a small reverse, kind of just jockey along the controller, but it would jam and take off at full speed, so that wasn't very useful. So today we're just going to take a look at this truck and see what's in it, and just basically a little bit of a review, get an idea of what we're going to do to it to make it a good RC truck. So just in case you're wondering about the detail, it's all plastic. It's not particularly detailed. It's not bad for what it is. You wouldn't expect the same detail as the Scania models, because you know, I think the static Scania R620 with the low loader cost something like 90 or 100 euros at the time, and you know, this was 40, and it already has a motor in the back. It has some LEDs, it has a steering here on the front, but it's not great, and you have a battery and a battery charger. You know, there's a lot here. It's a good building block. So as usual with this kind of thing, we're hoping that this is going to be a simple change out the electronics and try and use as much of what's there already, and hopefully we get a decently controllable model. Well, first thing, I'll just show you what it does already. You've seen it on the model scenery, but you mightn't have just got the full details of the noise and stuff like that. So inside we have one of these 4.8 volt batteries. That doesn't mean it's 4.8 volts when it's fully charged. That's probably discharged really. I would imagine this is more than 6 volts, so you have to be careful with your voltages. For us, what that means is we can't use the 4.2 control board, because that is sort of for lower power batteries. This we'll have to use the 4.1 because it can handle big batteries. So this should be fine with a 4.1 control board if we upgrade it to that. It's a decent battery, good little connector there. It came disconnected, so I've just been storing it disconnected. I don't know if that means there's like a slow discharge of the battery or anything like that, or could be just me being a bit overly cautious. So that's the battery that came with it. It's decent enough. We have on off switch here. You have adjustment for your steering, and hopefully you're able to hear that. There's a sort of an engine noise on it. So as soon as you start it up, there's that engine noise, and if we leave it long enough, it'll make some sort of a noise and turn off. The controller is just 2 AA batteries to power that up, so nothing special there. It's not rechargeable. Just a little switch on the back. You have 2 buttons to raise and lower the trailer. Then you have steering, and as you can see, when the steering's locked, the sound changes, and this light is flashing here, so it's just the headlight that flashes. Turn it the other way and it's just the same in the opposite direction. So nothing too crazy there. When we accelerate, you've seen the lights come on the front. There was also a braking noise sound. Here's the controller sticking, what I was telling you about. So that's it, stuck in reverse there. But I'm sure that's just the plastic in the controller is jamming. In forward it's pretty fast, and I wasn't actually expecting it to pull the low loader in the last video. That's actually quite a heavy load to be pulling, but Yeah, it actually seemed to do it alright, to be honest. That's all there really is to the features of it, so I guess we'll just take it apart. One other thing, there's a little bar here. I just added that for there's your noise when it shuts off. I don't know why it does that. Here's a little bar that I added just so that I could pull the CQ trailers. So it looks like this part will come out here, so I'll get rid of that and 3D print something similar to the fifth wheel on the CQ Scania. That should be good enough. Okay, so now let's just take it apart. Okay, well, I very intelligently didn't actually hit the record button, but anyway, it was only 6 screws to take the base off this. There's a little clip on the back, so you pull it off from the front side first. Fairly big control board in here, but that's kind of to be expected. It's going to be kind of old school sort of electronics. It's a single board design, so it's not going to be terribly compact. It says it's 2.4 gigahertz, but I don't see the antenna. Ah, there it is. Okay, so there's our 2.4 gig antenna. Yeah, it's pretty basic. I guess it's probably just transistors to just drive these 2 motors, and that's all there is to it really. You can see our speaker on the top there. Maybe I'll put a horn or something on that. That's what I did with the Peterbilt truck. There was something like that, so I just made a little horn, sort of a noise. So that's probably what I'll do again. You can see our LEDs are just hot glued in there, so we'll be able to add our own LEDs in as well as that. That won't be a problem. I didn't even notice there was LEDs in the back. I guess they're probably brake lights or something, but we'll change that out because we'll probably want indicators and reverse lights. Everything's kind of on this lower chassis, so we can kind of do everything we want here and then just connect the LEDs later on, I guess. I don't think this is going to be too difficult to convert. I'll get rid of this control board anyway and get rid of this motor. The actual, well, when it was on the diorama, it seemed like it had a decent enough turn and circle, so I might just put the servo and drive the existing mechanical steering linkage. So that should be fine. We'll use the same battery, the 4.8 volts, no point changing to LiPo when there's perfectly good battery here. The motor, as you'd expect, just the usual cheap sort of toy car motor. I don't know if that's going to cause us noise problems like it did with the John Deere, the Chinese John Deere that we had. It probably won't, because the other model was trying to drive a big gearbox. There was a lot of gears in it. It was driving it an unbalanced sort of a load, and the tracks were kind of putting a lot of tension on their own, so I'd say this will be a lot easier to drive. This is probably similar to the Subaru, which we didn't really have any trouble with. I can see here, like I had thought, this part's going to screw off here, and we can get rid of that because well, it's not much use to us because all our trailers use a UART link, so you send full communication back to the trailer and the lights and everything are in sync with the tractor unit. So if we get rid of this, we'll be able to get our own 3D printed part in there, hopefully anyway, and then we'll have a proper fifth wheel, and we'll do the same as the Scania and take the signal wires just through the back of the cab here, and then we'll be able to control all our existing trailers as well. So as you can see, that's that part off. Wasn't much use anyway. These springs pushed the trailer off itself, so not much point with that, but we have good access there. We should be able to get our own 3D printed fifth wheel in there. Probably have space for a servo in there behind the battery box, between the battery box and the motor, so hopefully that'll be alright. But yeah, that's all there is to it really. It's pretty simple, as you would expect, but it looks like it'll be a good enough platform for us to do a conversion. So if you like these kind of builds, don't forget to hit the like button so I know what's kind of more popular. And if you want to see the next video in this series, make sure and subscribe and get the bell on for notifications. But that's all I have for today. In the next video I'll probably add in our control board, and we'll just get control of our motor and maybe our LEDs that we already have. And I'll do a separate video for the trailer, and it'll be getting its own little control board so that I can communicate with it from any vehicle, the tractors, the trucks, doesn't matter. We'll make it as if it's one of any of our other trailers, which should be pretty simple. I might try and increase the tipping angle on the trailer, but I'm not sure if I will or not. It's probably going to be difficult enough to do, so it might be just as well just stick with it the way it is. It'll probably be good enough if you're tipping larger stuff like rocks or something. The coffee grind, soil sort of stuck in it, but sure, what can you do? So that's the plan. I hope you're looking forward to the series, and thanks very much for watching.